What's your view, John, of the 40s decade? If you were to summarise, because this could be a pretty wild episode.
I would peg the 40s as half-time. You know we love a sporting analogy over this side of the table. It's because we've really been, give or take, working for 20 years.
Yeah.
And then there's another 20 to come till, give or take, retirement. So I think it's a chance to maybe say, well, okay, the first 10 years I may have been a little bit loose with my money. I may have done some study. I may have trialled a few different jobs. I might have done some travel. Might have started a family. Who knows? But anyway, we get a little bit more serious in our 30s. We've maybe accumulated some asset, hopefully income-producing ones. And then we get to this period where we say, right, the past, we've got 20 years. The time is, I suppose the time's ticking now to get it done. And that's where I think I was talking to someone this morning, I think our risk profile changes a little bit as well.
Like more risk or less risk?
I think less risk because
That's interesting.
the end is coming closer to, when we say end, not the end of it, well, the end of our life is, but retirement. So I feel the people I speak to in our 40s, 50s don't necessarily want to stick their neck out too far. 20s, 30s we can recover from. Starting in our 40s, we probably say, well, we're going to maybe pull it back a little bit. But is that right or wrong? Don't know. I personally think we still should be having a good old red crack. But, yeah, I think that's the peg in the sand halftime speech.
What I think, particularly for the 40s, you did talk about the risk profile there, which is interesting. Something stood out to me that if we are at halftime and we're looking like crap, I don't have enough super or I don't have enough assets, what can happen is the risk profile can increase due to desperation.
Yes.
And you go and do dumb things and get flushed. And you particularly see that in the 50s decade and, those 5-10 years before, quote unquote, whatever your retirement age is. So you just have to be careful on that. But a couple of things, the way society is at the moment, we know that everything has moved 10 years. So when you were, in your late teens, you basically were out of home with a full-time job and a family working the coal mine. Like it was wild. Where your kids, statistically, you've got 3 kids, and I'm making this statistic up, but you may still have one at home when they're 30 years old.
If not 3. Yeah.
So society has moved. On the other end, 65 is no longer you're cooked, you're done, you're out the pasture. People are living longer, we're healthier. And so I think we need to understand that as well. But my big thing about this episode and money in your 40s, and we've touched on these other kind of topics before, this episode has to be the biggest wake-up call that you've ever received in relation to probably your life generally. Like, what are you doing with your freaking life? What are you doing?
Yeah.
2, what are you doing with your finances and how are you setting up for the you of tomorrow a la retirement?
Yeah, and I think we spoke about it a little bit in our 30s, and it's like the feather brick truck sort of moments. Like we need to start to get a little bit of that in shape in our 30s, and of course we're templating things, and they're just labels for episodes. But retirement is not the 60, 65 that it used to be. According to the government, it is, but you're right. We're living longer. There's 2 choices is, okay, still use that 60, 65 as a guide. You just simply need more in retirement because you're living longer, don't you? Or you say, because I don't look at retirement as, right, this is the day I'm going to retire and call it quits. I don't like using the word in general. I don't know about you, but I feel as though as long as you've got energy and you're keeping yourself healthy and you've got motivation and purpose, that this journey goes forever, and you just have these choices that you want to make to say, well, yeah, I want to pull back 1 or 2 days a week so I can do these other things that I want to tick off on.
Yeah. So I think in kind of opening, as this is your wake-up call. Why the heck are you still in consumer debt? Why are you still living week on week? Why don't you have a plan to have a strong financial future? Now, there are probably legitimate reasons for for everything.
Yeah.
If you want to revert with me in the comments, if you think it's insensitive for me to say, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? You can have explanations, but don't have excuses.
No.
And I think the whole thing is, for example, you might have a $10,000 personal loan because something that happened, it was outside of your control. I didn't want this, but there's a difference there between I systematically overspent every year for the last 10 years and the debt's just now a personal loan and I'm rolling it. So I think I'm not after your excuses. I've got lots of excuses for a lot of things in my life. There is likely an explanation, but we're here now. We need to get on with it. You need to, and we'll talk about it, you need to get your spouse and your partner on the same page. What are you doing with the kids? What are you doing with retirement? What are you doing with wealth? What are you doing with your job? What are you doing with your career? Because I'm sorry, you're in your 40s now. You've been warned as at now. You've got probably 20 good years, 25 good years to continue building wealth or to start building wealth.
Agree. And the other end of that spectrum is I haven't got 10 grand of bad debt in my 40s. I've actually dialed in. I've been investing, or I've got my own home and I've got a reasonably comfortable mortgage and I can see myself living there for the next 15 years. They're not sitting back in comfortable seat, but they're sitting there saying, well, I'm going to really enjoy these next 20 years from a lifestyle perspective because I might have kids. I want to see them grow up and spend time with them, and I want to do bits and pieces that I didn't do in my first 20 years of adulthood because I was on the hustle.
That's right. And I think it is that whole, you have a choice to, like, from today, to continue on your path. There's probably the three things. You're in a financial mess, or life isn't as good as what you wanted and you hate it.
Yeah.
So you've got the choice to go, such is life and I'm a victim and all that, and you stay there. Awesome. You can look at your situation and go, this is not ideal. I'm making a change. I'm getting intentional. From today, I'm sending this episode to my friend, to my partner, to everyone. I want to get dialed in. And the third one, a lot of people who listen to our podcast regularly are pretty dialed in with their finances. This is the reminder to them to keep on going. If you want to take the foot off the gas, knock yourself out, live a little, travel a little, do all the things. Hey, it's Glen here. Thank you so much for watching today's video. You made it to the end. Can I ask a favor? Can you hit that like button and maybe hit subscribe if you want to get notified when we release further videos just like this one, whether you watch the Money, Money, Money podcast or Retire Right. And remember, if you want to learn more about investing, I've got an investing book, The Quick Start Guide to Investing, and there's a link in the description to get your hands on a copy. Thank you so much. Bye.